Hello dear viewers, welcome to this session. In this video we will see the remaining parts of how to build PnL statement or income statement from the scratch. Uh, those of you who haven't watched the previous video on this topic, I kindly request you to go back and watch it so that you can have a full picture of creating or building income statement from raw data from ERP system. So in our previous lesson, we have seen how to create unique code to our uh, accountants and to the company, to the partner companies here. And then we sorted out, we removed duplicates, and then finally we came up with these unique codes. And we use this unique code to populate this database from our source sheet. We have source sheet here, uh, from 2016, from 2017, from 2018. We brought data from these three different source sheets to our database by using a VLOOKUP function for this. And we again populated the figures or the amounts for each year for the 3 years uh, by using SUMIF function. So I really suggest you to go back and see part one of this topic. Now in this video, we will see how to do mapping. Mapping is a very important concept in accounting process, especially when we have large number of line items. When we have a large number of line items, we cannot uh, write them or put them on our income statement or our balance sheet. So we need to go for a mapping process so that we could have fewer items or fewer general items on our income statement. So the main reason is that we have so many line items or so many sub ledgers. So we have to sum up them and then bring them under a general ledger. And that's what we call mapping. Just to give you general overview on mapping process, here how the mapping goes on. This is mapping exercise, and I believe it is helpful for you to understand. Here we have the example, the PnL account mapping to which account, and then why we do this mapping for each item here. For example, core business revenues maps to net sales. So that means when we report uh, core business revenues on our income statement, it will be reflected as net sales. So why we need to map this account to this account? It's because sales arising from the firm's core business activities. That's one reason. And you can see here other revenues. Apart from the direct sales to customers, company can make can make revenue from other business activities, maybe from maintenance, repairing, or any software services can make a business. So we call them other revenues, and they will be mapped into other revenues because we cannot put them under net sales because no direct sale to the customers. And we have here capitalized costs. It maps to the same account because it is in its own category. Direct cost, direct cost. Let's say here freight outbound expenses. This one is too detailed for us to put it in on our income statement. So we map it into other operating expense. So it's because it does not have its own category. That's why we put it under operating expense, other operating expense. Again, we see here research and development expense. We put them under operating expense because it does not have its own category. We have to categorize them. We have to, merge them into a general ledger account. Other very important example here you have. If you see all these three, wages and salaries, pension contributions, severance, indemnity contribution. All these are payment to the employees. So we can map all these three into one account, which is personnel expense. Personnel expense. So the reason is simply because all of these are related to personnel or employees who are working to the company. So in this way, we do the mapping. You have other examples here. For example, corporate recharges. We put that as recharge because it is its own category. Maybe if you see other company, they may put this thing under operating expense, or it depends on the company how they build their chart of accounts. Other income, because that's its own category. Marketing expenses again other under operating expense. Under operating expense, we could put a lot of um, our line items or other um, sub-ledger accounts under operating expense. Here you have software and IT. Any expense related to it can be under other operating expense. Leasing is an independent one under lease. Service expense. Charges and contributions, again, we put under operating expense. uh, Insurance expense under other operating expenses. Travel expense is travel cost because we do not map this one into any one. Of course, in some companies, they put travel expense under operating expense. So it depends on how the company wants to record it and report it. You have here other examples like legal expenses, miscellaneous costs, consulting fees. All these can be mapped into other operating expenses. So this is, in short, how we do the mapping in our reporting activities. I hope these examples are clear to you. You can ask me about this document, or I can put it on the comments section, this document, or it depends on how the company categorize these accounts into a general ledger account. So yeah, this is all about mapping. Great. Now let's go back to our task here and try to do mapping. We have two options on Excel sheet. We have one option which is manually categorizing them. Manually categorizing them as we see, as we discussed here, uh, categorizing them, putting them in their own uh, mapping category manually, or in big companies, there are softwares like DataFlex which help companies to automatically map these line items into a general ledger accounts so that we could get fewer and important accounts on our income statement. So for example, we can map this one as net sales, and other revenue is other revenue, and capitalized cost is under maybe it may be under capitalized costing as it is. We can put like this, capitalized costing as it is. It's good to copy paste and put it here if it is not mapping to anyone, to any account. So we can directly put it like this, and we can populate like this. For example, you have here utility expense, which is other operating expense, legal expense, other operating expense, travel expense, again other operating expense. So in this way, we can uh, do our mapping. So for the time being, I will directly bring the one I have already finished. But you have to know how it works. That's why I'm showing you from the very beginning. So we have here already populated it. Direct capitalized costs are not mapping. We directly brought them. Other operating expenses, we discussed it already, these things: freight outbound expenses, research and development expenses. Again, the same one, the wages and salaries are personnel expenses, pension contribution, personnel expenses, severance indemnity with indemnity are also under personnel expenses. So this is how we do the mapping process. It may be time consuming if we go line by line and then categorize them into different categories. So I already copy paste it because I worked on it already for this video. So after we do this mapping process, the next process will be we take all these to the P&L statement. I copy paste it here. Let me do here. Great. So we have brought all these items to here so that we will start building our own P&L statement form. So if you see here, we have still so many duplicates. So many duplicates. We can remove this duplicate simply by going to data menu, and then we have this tab here which helps us to remove duplicates, and then that's it. So we have already removed duplicates and we are left with these few items. That's cool. And now we can start building our own statement. We can start building our own statement. So the first one comes here is PnL statement accounts, and then we may need to put here fiscal year 2016, 2017, 2018. We will format them later. All right, so I can directly copy paste and bring it all here. Sorry. We bring our revenues first. Again, other revenues here. Copy paste. And then after we put net sales and other revenues, what comes next? Let's see if we can bring anything else. Okay, we can also bring charges here under revenue, and recharge. This is a recharge, and then what comes next? What comes next? What comes next? That's it. So these all are called total revenues. These are total revenues. And then after total revenue, we put direct cost here. And after direct cost, what comes? Gross margin. This is a common income statement format. After gross margin, we go for operating expenses. Bring operating expenses all under gross margin here. Personnel expenses also under operating expense. Lease and travel cost can also be under this category. And what else we have here? We can also bring this other income to operating expense section because of its operational nature. The companies can even decide whether it should be here or somewhere here. And then capitalized cost can also be categorized under here. And then after putting all this, we are going to calculate earning before interest and tax and depreciation and amortization. IPTAD. All right, and then we go for depreciation and amortization, and then what comes here? Uh, earning before interest and tax, and then we bring financial items here. Uh, Financial items here. All right, and then what comes here? Earning before tax. Finally, we bring here tax, and the last one remaining here is net income. Interesting. All right, as you see here, we have these items which are going to be reflected on our final income statement. So now let us do the formatting. Let's do the formatting. Let's do the formatting. We can go to the cell format or format cells option and border, and let's go for this thicker one. Let's go for this dark blue, and let's do the bottom one for the first one, and we can also bold it. Here we go, and we have again revenue here, total revenue. We can go for top border and bold. This is not bold enough. Let's do the cell format so that could be much more identifiable. Here we go, top border, yes, and then I can easily copy the format, not the item. The format can be copied here. Copy special and then format only, and then I come to here again and I copy it, I paste format only using copy special. Okay, what else here? Also copy special, formats only. Again we have EBIT here, paste special, this is format, and finally we have here income statement. I mean the net income or loss, the final one. Here we go. Okay, for this one, yeah, I may need to again format in different way. Maybe the bottom one for this one. Here we go. Yes, this is how it looks like this in the formatting. Right, we may need to write the name of company or XYZ company, and then we go for consolidated income statement, and then for the years 2016 to 2018. All right, in this way we prepare the format. I hope it is clear. Now we are left with populating this for this form. We can also format the entire space. for our income statement sheet. Here we go. Yes, now it looks more visible. All right, so let's format this. This is equal to all this, and I can simply copy paste this formula to others. This gross margin is equal to total revenue minus direct cost, because I'm simply summing up, because the values of direct cost will be negative. So if we simply sum up, it will be okay. Here we go. Sum of is the difference of all these, including the gross margin, and then what comes next? EBIT, which is equal to the difference between EBIT and depreciation and amortization. Here we go. The final one is EBIT. Yes, is the difference of these three items. Here we go. This is the last one. Net income is after tax. Interesting. Now we have already done the formatting section. So next step will be populating this directly from our database sheet. We'll be using this data and we'll populate it here. Great. So now let's start here. We use SUMIF for this function. And then what will be the range from which value we are going to look the amount we are going to reflect here. I go to database and I select the mapping element and I fix this this column, so that it should not move when we go through other columns. All right, and then the criteria will be net sale here. So I will fix the column only, because it should not move to the right when I copy paste the formula. And the other one important one is sum range. The sum range is again from database. I will be taking the first year, which is 2016. All right, and I fix. I don't need to fix this because it should move. It should move because I'm going to copy paste this formula to the right and down to other items. So it should move to this direction and also to this direction. So I don't need to fix it in this case. Here we go. So let's put this value is in million, then let's divide this one to million, and then we can see less figure on our yeah. So I divided to million because the values are in millions. Maybe I need to show it here in millions. All right, then I can directly copy paste this to the right, to the left, and also down here. Again, I can copy paste this formula to here. Yes. Maybe I need to copy only copy special. It doesn't matter if we directly copy the value. So I just want to be more careful. I copy only formulas here. It's the same as you see. So I can copy this one to here. In the same way, I can copy this formula here, but I have to still use the formula option. That makes me more confident. And yes, this can be done for all. Interesting. I still want to use the formula, and then here we go. Okay, I didn't do for this one. Copy special formula. Here we go. All right, and the next one is financial items. Again, for the financial items, we don't need to worry. Bring the formula here. The formula will find it. Yes, and also for all right, and the final one will be here. Let's bring formula again to taxes special, and then here we go. Interesting. So we have already populated this our income statement or PnL statement, and now this is our final net income here. For 2016 we have positive, which is profit, with 2017 loss, and 2018 we have here positive, which is profit. So now net income check. We can do the check here. We can do the check here. To do the check, we have to check the balance we have in database. If you go to database and look for net income items here, okay, we have here net income, which is here minus 2.9, minus 2.9. So it's minus 2.9. All right, this is net income check. The difference should be 0. And then let's check for 2017 in our database. 2017, again, let's go down. Here we have, which is 6.1, which is 6.1. Let's check it. Yes, it's 6.1, or exactly the same. It's 6.1. And for this one, it is 0.779. Again, let's check it. Yeah, it is the same, but it's negative. You know, if you remember, we have changed our net income when we prepare our database. we have changed it, we made it 0 so that we could see the balance properly. And then our true net income is this one, and this was the one we changed. So the one we have here should be similar in amount with the one we have here. If you see the difference, if you see the sum of the two, it should be 0, or it should be approximate to 0. Should be approximate to 0. Again, if you see the difference between the one we have here, SUMIF, not SUMIF, just sum, it should be 0. Sum, all right. So we have here 0 balance. We have almost 0 balance here. If you take this one to 0 digits, it's gonna be 0. And this one is also 0. This difference is, I just want to make it sure clear for you. Maybe you should not get confused later. We have here this value, which is 779,290. I copy it here. So I copy it here. I should first here the values, not the formula. Yeah. So we have this value. I divided this one to 1 million so that it could be similar to the one we have in the sheet. Yeah. So this value, and this value are similar. So it's not something different. And the values we have here are from, so we can use the round function and make our final check empty or just simply blank. Our work is perfectly done. I hope you have enjoyed this exercise. Yes, and you can again around this one, or remove the decimals for this one. Yeah. So in the same way, you can remove decimals and leave like this. So we have here the same. The check for net income is 0, 0. That means our net income corresponds to the value we have obtained from ERP system, and our income statement is well prepared. It's well prepared. That's how we actually do or prepare income statement from the scratch. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. If you have any question, you can ask me, or you can write on the comment section. We can again format and make it more beautiful, like this. So if you see the difference between the two, the difference is simply depreciation and amortization. This is earning before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization. So we deduct the depreciation and amortization, and we are left with earning before interest and tax. And then after that, we deduct these financial items, which includes maybe interest expenses and other things. And finally, we arrive at earning before tax. And then after tax, we get net income. So this is how we build consolidated financial statement or income statement from the scratch. I hope you have enjoyed these two videos. If you have enjoyed, you can give me a like or subscribe or share to your friends. Thank you for your time. See you with another video. Bye bye.